told you about a new star that is visible in the Milky Way between now and September. Very rare event and only happens every 80 years.
On a clear, dark night, you stand under the sky, feeling as if you could sink into its vast darkness. Above, the sky is a canvas painted black, sprinkled with countless twinkling stars, each a tiny beacon of light from far away. Imagine in this sea of celestial lights, a cosmic spectacle called a recurrent nova burst forth, a rare light show that visits us only once every 80 years, brighter than any star, visible for days or even a week to those who watch closely. But what draws us to these fleeting cosmic events with such awe? Let's delve into the dark heart of space, where the most unsettling stars whisper secrets meant for only the bravest souls. The universe performs for the world. But what exactly is a recurrent nova, and why is it causing such a stir among astronomers and those who simply love to gaze at the stars? We're about to dive into an exploration of these unique cosmic events that scientists have recently dubbed a once-in-a-lifetime space explosion. For as long as humans have walked the Earth, the night sky has been a source of fascination, mystery, and inspiration. Our ancient ancestors, who lived long before the age of telescopes and space probes, looked up at the stars in wonder. They didn't have the scientific explanations we do today, so they believed these twinkling lights were the work of gods or were messages from the divine realm. For instance, a sudden bright flash in the sky could have been interpreted as a sign from above, a celestial message meant to guide or warn. Consider the ancient civilizations like the Egyptians, who were so in tune with the stars that they could predict the annual flooding of the Nile River just by observing the night sky. Or the Mayans, renowned for their deep understanding of astronomy, who developed one of the most accurate calendars in history, based solely on the movements of stars and planets. These examples show just how deeply connected to the cosmos our ancestors were. They understood that the rhythms and patterns of the stars had a direct impact on their lives, from agriculture to religious ceremonies. In ancient Mesopotamia, now modern-day Iraq and its surrounding regions, the Babylonians were busy observing the sky with an amazing level of detail. They were among the first to map out the stars and planets, creating a legacy that would eventually become the cornerstone of what we know as astronomy today. Their work was so advanced that they managed to create a calendar sophisticated enough to guide when to plant crops and when to hold important ceremonies based on the stars. The Greeks, too, were starry-eyed, with thinkers like Pythagoras and Aristotle trying to unravel the mysteries of the universe. They were curious about everything, from why the stars moved to how big our planet was, leading to discoveries like the measurement of the Earth's circumference by Eratosthenes and the creation of extensive star catalogs. Far from the Mediterranean, in Asia, the skies were equally bustling with activity. Chinese astronomers were busy tracking comets, novae, and solar and lunar eclipses. They saw these celestial events as signs that could predict the future, especially major events that could affect the whole country. Their careful record-keeping over centuries has given us the longest continuous history of astronomy in the world, significantly impacting mathematics and how people navigated the seas. Across the ocean, in the Americas, the Incas and the Mayans were no less fascinated by the heavens. They too developed advanced systems to monitor the stars and planets, crafting detailed calendars that predicted solar and lunar eclipses with astonishing precision. Now fast forward to the threshold of the 21st century. We've come a long way from observing the sky with the naked eye. Today, we use telescopes that can see far beyond our solar system and space probes that send back images from planets and asteroids. Yet despite these technological leaps, our sense of wonder when we look up at the stars hasn't faded. The stories of celestial explorations, from mythological tales to scientific discoveries, continue to captivate us, bridging the gap between ancient civilizations and the modern world. In the big world of studying stars and space, there's a special kind of star event that gets a lot of attention called recurrent novi. Imagine two stars dancing around each other in space because they pull on each other with their gravity. One of these stars is very old and starts to lose its outer parts. Instead of floating away, this stuff falls onto the other star, which is very dense and called a white dwarf. When too much of this stuff piles up on the white dwarf, it causes a big explosion, known as a nova. This explosion makes a huge flash of light and energy, bright enough to outshine whole galaxies for a little while. Let's go deeper into the cosmic dance that has everyone looking up. Discover what the next flash of light from space will reveal. The next big light in the sky. But what's the big deal about these recurrent novae, you might wonder? To people who study the stars, astronomers, these events are like secret windows into the very heart of the universe. They give us a peek at things happening in space that are usually hidden from us, like why some old giant stars don't have much oxygen, or why these explosive nova events don't happen all that often in our galaxy. Each recurrent nova is a cosmic puzzle, full of mysteries that scientists are itching to solve. As we all look forward to the next big show in the sky, let's think about what secrets the stars might share with us this time. What will we learn from the bright flash of the next recurrent nova? And what new questions will it make us ask about the vast universe around us? The anticipation for the next spectacular space event is like waiting for a grand performance to begin. It's a chance for us to join in on the age-old human tradition of looking up and wondering, to be part of the endless quest to discover more about the amazing universe we live in. After all, the universe is a huge place, full of mysteries and marvels waiting around every corner. But before we dive deeper, let's get a clearer picture of what we're talking about here. Let's zoom in a bit. Picture this. Far away in the depths of space, two stars are locked in a gravitational embrace, dancing around each other in the endless cosmic ballet. But these aren't just any stars. One is a red giant, a massive star at the twilight of its life, while its partner is a white dwarf, a dense, compact remnant of a once larger star. As they dance, the red giant starts to lose its outer layers, like a celestial being shedding its cloak. This material doesn't just drift away into space, it's pulled into a swirling, spinning disk around the white dwarf, drawn by the white dwarf's intense gravity. And then, just when the scene is set, something incredible happens. The material that's been gathering around the white dwarf reaches a critical point and explodes in a blaze of glory. This isn't just a small sparkler of an explosion. It's a cosmic fireworks show, lighting up the galaxy with its brilliance. This right here is what we call a recurrent nova. It's not a one-time event. This process repeats, with the red giant continually shedding material and the white dwarf setting off fireworks each time it accumulates enough of this stellar stuff. Now, let's dive a little deeper into the wonders of the universe, with a story that seems almost too magical to be true. Imagine the universe as a grand stage, where stars perform an elaborate dance choreographed by the laws of physics. Among the most captivating performances on this cosmic stage are the recurrent novae, which aren't just your average celestial fireworks. These stellar explosions are part of a precise and mesmerizing routine performed by two stars orbiting each other. Every 80 years or so, they give us a show like no other, exploding in a blaze of glory. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. While we can guess when these events are likely to happen, pinning down the exact moment they'll occur is like trying to guess the winning lottery numbers. It could be tomorrow, next month, or maybe even as you're reading this. This uncertainty keeps astronomers in a perpetual state of excitement and anticipation. Fast forward to today, and here we are, on the edge of our seats, waiting for the next big performance in the night sky. Scientists around the world are ready with their telescopes, eager to catch a front-row seat to the show. They hope to learn the secrets hidden within these binary star systems. What will these cosmic explosions reveal about how stars are born, live, and die, including the fate that awaits our own sun? As we prepare to embark on this thrilling expedition through the cosmos, one thing is crystal clear. The universe has an endless supply of surprises up its sleeve, mesmerizing us with its beauty and complexity. And at the heart of this celestial drama is a fascinating character, the white dwarf. Imagine a star, much like the sun, approaching the end of its life. Instead of going out with a whimper, it transforms, collapsing inward until it becomes something entirely new, a white dwarf. But what does this transformation entail? Imagine the core of a once bright star, now compacted into an incredibly dense ball of matter. This isn't just any kind of matter, though. It's made up of electron-degenerate matter, a weird and wonderful state where the electrons are so closely packed together that they create a kind of quantum pressure. This pressure is so intense that it prevents the star from collapsing any further. Imagine an immense crowd of people, all pushing against each other so tightly that no one can move. That's what's happening at the core of a white dwarf, but on a subatomic level. We're getting closer to a breathtaking space event, where two stars perform a dance leading to an amazing explosion, a countdown to celestial fireworks. Imagine the sky lighting up with colors and lights in a way you've never seen before. Not just a regular occurrence, but something so rare and extraordinary that it happens only once in 80 years. Welcome to the captivating story of Recurrent Novi, a phenomenon where the night becomes a canvas for an awe-inspiring display of cosmic wonders. In this story, the main character is a small yet powerful star known as a white dwarf. This star is in a cosmic partnership with a much larger companion, a red giant star. As they move together in their cosmic dance, the red giant gradually sheds parts of itself. These pieces then gather around the white dwarf, forming a stunning, luminous ring of gas and dust. It's as if the white dwarf is draped in a sparkling cloak, made from the very essence of the cosmos. The peak of this celestial spectacle occurs when the glowing ring around the white dwarf becomes too packed and can no longer contain its contents. This results in a phenomenal burst of energy, akin to an immense nuclear explosion, unleashing in the vast, quiet space. The explosion lights up the sky with such intensity that for a fleeting moment, the darkness of night seems to turn into daylight. This extraordinary event is called a nova, symbolizing new beginnings and the creation of stars. The term nova harks back to an era when ancient civilizations, lacking our current scientific knowledge, witnessed these magnificent explosions. They believed they were observing the birth of new stars, a testament to the enduring human fascination with the mysteries of the universe. Understanding that a nova isn't about the birth of a new star is crucial. Instead, think of it as the universe throwing a massive fit. Picture the white dwarf as a pressure cooker that's been on the heat for too long, holding in all this energy until it can't anymore. And then boom, it releases everything in one incredible burst of light. And here's the exciting part. In 2024, we all get front row seats to this out-of-this-world show as a recurrent nova lights up the night sky once more. As we gaze upwards at this astonishing display, it's a perfect time to really appreciate the wonder of the cosmos that surrounds us. The stories told by ancient peoples, the breakthroughs made by scientists, our endless fascination with the stars. These have woven a continuous thread through human history, connecting us across time and space. This universal curiosity about the heavens above unites us, highlighting our small but significant place in the endless universe. Humans have stared in wonder at the night sky for as long as we've walked the earth. The stars have been our guides across open seas, leading explorers to undiscovered lands. They've inspired countless poets to pen verses about the beauty of the universe and motivated scientists to unravel the mysteries of the cosmos. Every culture has looked up and seen these sparkling dots in their own unique way, crafting stories and myths that have endured through the ages. But the stars are more than mere decorations of the night sky. They are the canvas for our collective imagination, a wellspring of mystery and a fountain of inspiration. Imagine how the stars have played a role in every aspect of human life. They've been the subjects of songs that serenade the moonlit night, the markers by which farmers planned their sowing and harvesting, and the sparks of curiosity that have ignited the minds of children dreaming of becoming astronauts. The constellations have acted as celestial maps, guiding not just physical journeys across the globe, but also spiritual journeys within ourselves, prompting us to question who we are and our place. Circle the date and get ready for a night you won't forget, as we're about to see a star become the main attraction in the vast universe's own theater show. In the endless sea of space, there's always something new and magical just waiting to be found. And come 2024, we'll all get to see a sky event that'll remind us just how beautiful and full of mysteries the universe really is. Picture this, a giant puzzle spread out across the endless dark of space, with stars as its pieces, hiding secrets that keep even the smartest space scientists guessing. Our adventure started about 10 years ago, back in 2016, when some sharp-eyed astronomers noticed something incredible happening way up in the stars. We're talking about T Corona Borealis, a star duo that's known for lighting up the sky with its surprise shows. This star pair has been the talk of the town not once but twice before, with its big shows in 1946 and way back in 1866. Think of it. In 1866, this star suddenly popped into view, lighting up the night sky for almost a week. Jump ahead to today, and we're all on the edge of our seats, waiting for its next big performance. But here's where it gets really interesting with T Corona Borealis. Between 2015 and 2016, the folks who study stars saw it start to change. It began to glow a bit brighter and gave off more of the kind of light that we see with special star-watching tools, similar to how it acted in 1938, just a handful of years before it went all out in 1946. And just when you thought it couldn't get more mysterious, in June 2018 and then again in March 2023, it started flickering in a way that made everyone think back to what happened right before its previous big moments. With these exciting hints, the space experts made a bold guess about when we'd see T Corona Borealis take the stage for its next big number. They marked their calendars for January 2024, hoping to see the star show off once more. But, as it turns out, predicting star shows is a bit like guessing when the next bus will come. Sometimes, it's right on schedule, and other times, it's either a bit early or a bit late. So even though the star didn't light up exactly when they thought it would, there's still a chance it'll surprise us within the next few months. Step into the space story, where stars become the main show every 80 years. Find out how one star shines among all, why some stars outshine the rest. Have you ever wondered why some stars seem so special compared to others? Let's dive into an example that might make you think. There's this star named T Corona Borealis, and it's incredibly far from us, like 3,000 light years away. Imagine trying to understand just how far that is. It's not easy because it's such an enormous distance that our brains have a tough time imagining it. But, despite being so far away, the light from T Corona Borealis manages to travel all that distance and reach us here on Earth. That's pretty amazing, right? This star shines through the darkness of space and captures our attention, making us wonder about the vast universe. When you look at all the different things happening out there in space, T Corona Borealis really stands out. It's like the lead actor in a play, taking center stage and telling its story in the grand show of the cosmos. Now, let's picture a grand event, like a play or a concert, but instead of actors or musicians, the stars in the sky are the main performers. In this cosmic performance, there are countless stars, but only a few of them are so bright and remarkable that they make it into the history books of astronomy. Imagine having a list, a short one with just a dozen or so of these standout stars. Each one of them has its own spectacular show that grabs our attention and doesn't let go. Consider the star known as Scorpii. Not too long ago, about a year or so, it lit up the night sky. At its brightest moment, it shone with an intensity that made it stand out against the backdrop of space, like a beacon in the dark. And then there's RS Ophiuchi, a star whose dramatic outbursts have fascinated those who love to gaze at the night sky for many, many years. RS Ophiuchi had moments when it shone so brightly that it reached a brightness level of 5, which is pretty impressive. But Even with such a bright light, spotting it without any help, just with our eyes, was a bit of a challenge. The universe is like a vast ocean of stars, each one twinkling and shimmering from afar, like jewels scattered across a black velvet cloth. And now, we're on the verge of welcoming a new star to this grand stage. This soon-to-be famous star is gearing up to dazzle us all with its brightness. It's as if the universe is putting on a show, and this new star is about to have its debut performance, promising to be one of the brightest and most memorable parts of the cosmic spectacle. Imagine a light in the sky as bright as the famous North Star, Polaris. This isn't just any light. We're talking about a brightness level of 2.5, which makes it really stand out when you look up into the night sky. Polaris is known as the star that sailors and explorers have used for centuries to find their way. Now, think about seeing another light shining just as brightly. But this new light isn't part of the usual star groups we know, like Ursa Minor, where Polaris lives. Instead, this light, called a nova, is creating its own special spot in the sky. It's so bright that even if you live in a place with lots of other lights, like a big city, you'd still be able to see it. For people who love looking at the stars, and for those who enjoy the wonders of astronomy, this upcoming nova is something you don't want to miss. It's like a fireworks show in the sky that you can see without leaving the city. Everyone is getting ready and excited to see this amazing display that the universe has in store for us. But what makes this nova even more special is how rare it is. This kind of event only happens once every 80 years. It's so rare and interesting that it caught the attention of a scientist named Bradley Sheffer. Sheffer got really into this and started looking through old records to learn more about these rare events. He found something interesting written by Reverend Francis Williston back in 1789. Williston wrote about a strange star that showed up in the constellation Corona Borealis. This was like a hint of the nova that we're all excited to see now. And going even further back, in 1767, a guy named Abbot Berard noticed a bright light in the sky that stayed there for several days. Back in those days, people often saw these bright lights as signs or omens, wondering what they could mean. But today, with all the science and knowledge we have, we see them as clues to understand the universe better. Every time something like this happens, we learn a little more about the cosmos. It's like piecing together a giant puzzle where each star and each event is a piece of the story. As we get ready for this nova to show up, it's not just about watching a beautiful light in the sky. It's also about celebrating how far we've come in our quest to understand the stars and the universe. This is a moment to think about all the stories that the stars have to tell us. Stories about wonder, about asking questions, and about the adventure of discovering the secrets of space. So, as this nova gets ready to make its appearance, let's get ready to be part of this incredible story of the cosmos, where every star and every light has something amazing to share. The final countdown is on, but the exact date is still a secret. Feel the excitement as we wait for the night sky to share its next big story, the mystery of the oxygen-less star. We're all super excited and can't wait to see a really amazing star show that's about to happen in the sky. But there's one big question on everyone's mind. When exactly is this incredible sight going to take place? We've only got a few special days when we can see it best, so we mustn't miss out. The best guess anyone has right now is that it's going to be around April, but it could be a bit earlier or later, stretching anywhere from April to September of 2024. Imagine us all, every day, looking up at the sky or out towards the horizon, wondering if today will be the day. Will it be April, with the fresh bloom of spring? Or maybe May as the days start to warm up? June, with its long, lazy days? Or July, when summer is in full swing? Perhaps it'll be August, as the nights begin to hint at the coming fall. Or could it be as late as September, with the first cool whispers of autumn? By the time September ends, this bright new star, known as a nova, should have already put on its grand performance, lighting up our night sky with a glow we'll always remember. But here's a thought to make this waiting game a little more exciting, like adding a twist to a story. How about we all play a guessing game? It's like we're all becoming time travelers or fortune tellers, trying to predict this big moment. Think to yourself, picking a day and circling it in your mind's star calendar. From right now until the stars themselves burn out, let's see whose intuition, whose inner star guide, can lead them to the right date. Who knows? You might end up being the one who guesses right. And wouldn't that be something to brag about? You're doing great as long as you make your guess before the big star event. It doesn't matter if your guess is early or just a day before the event, you're still part of the game. And hey, if it turns out that lots of us pick the same day for our guesses, that's okay too. In this fun space game, there's no such thing as losing. We're all part of this exciting wait, hoping the stars will do something cool for us to see. So, let's start counting down the days, and fingers crossed that the universe gives us a great show. This big star event is super important for people who study space, like astronomers. Seeing something like this happen right in front of us is a rare treat. It's like getting a front row seat to watch how stars change over time. The star we're talking about is going through a big change, moving from being a big red puffy star to a smaller white one. This is a big deal because one day, a long, long time from now, our own sun will go through something similar. Watching this happen with another star helps scientists learn what might happen to our solar system in the future. But there's something really weird going on with this star that's got all the space scientists scratching their heads. The big red star doesn't have as much oxygen as they thought it would. This is strange because stars like this usually have a lot of oxygen. So, this mystery makes everyone even more curious about this star and what's going to happen. It's like a puzzle that everyone's trying to solve, adding an extra layer of excitement to waiting for the big event. The fact that we don't often see recurrent nova events makes them super mysterious. It's like trying to understand a puzzle without having all the pieces. Throughout history, we've had a tough time wrapping our heads around these star events because they happen on such a long timeline, way longer than any person lives. Finding a recurrent nova, which is a star that explodes more than once, is even more special than seeing a solar eclipse. And that's saying something because eclipses don't happen very often. Now let's zoom in on a pair of stars far away from us, about 3,000 light years away to be exact. These two stars are in a cosmic dance, spinning around each other every 228 days. It's like they're partners in a slow dance across space. What's about to make their dance super interesting is that they're getting ready for a big moment. One star is giving material to the other, and this is building up to a huge explosion, something we call a nova. And it looks like this big bang is just about to happen. We're pretty sure we know when this will happen, because we've managed to make good guesses before, like with a star called Scorpii. We think this new star explosion is going to be the brightest thing we've seen in hundreds of years. That's why everyone who loves space and stars is getting really excited about it. Once this star show kicks off, we'll learn a ton from it. We can find so much out from watching stars explode in space. And for those who like a challenge, trying to guess exactly when this is going to happen could be really fun. If someone manages to guess the right date, they could end up being famous among space fans for getting it right. So let's keep our eyes on the sky and get ready for one of the most incredible events we might ever see. Could this recurrent nova be the universe sending us a message, or merely a cosmic coincidence? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more celestial mysteries.